you're really proud of what you were able to accomplish here. So how difficult was this? Was this Pac-12, Stanford, was it really a difficult decision?
It is, because it's difficult to know what we have here. And we have such a great opportunity to live in a great city, to have the kids so happy, the wife is so happy, and then program-wise, I have a program that's extremely healthy, that we have our fingerprints all over, and we've gotten it to a good spot. Now, having said that, Stanford is such a unique opportunity, such a great opportunity that I think my wife and kids and I and everybody seem to understand that it's hard to turn down.
I know it's never been about money for you, and UAB, increased your salary last year, did a nice job with that, but I know it's never been about money. It's more just watching you after the Conference USA tournament. I know you're a competitor and you want to compete at the highest level. Was that the overriding factor?
Yeah, it's certainly not. I mean, I've been treated so well by the administration here. My contract was phenomenal, and it wouldn't have been about the money here. It was never a negotiating tool. It was never a bargaining chip. The opportunity to be at Stanford and play or compete at the highest level is important. And it's being in the Pac-12. I am from the West Coast. There were a lot of things that were important, but the idea of playing at the highest level and at an academic institution like Stanford made it a no-brainer for me.
I wonder if, I know you hate hypotheticals, but as you say, I'll ask them anyway. If Conference USA wasn't Conference USA, if it was the American Athletic, if it was the Missouri Valley, if UAB were in one of those conferences, do you think the situation would be different with you at all?
Not necessarily, because I think if it's still Stanford, I think that's a destination, a true destination job where they're going to be in the Pac-12 forever. They're going to be in a situation where they run things so first class. The academic standards are so high. The athletic performance of all their athletes and teams are so high that it's such a unique situation. Now, having said that, it is one of the exciting things about UAB. I think it has a potential for unbelievable growth, whether it's conference affiliation, and I think the idea of Conference USA can be a positive, but Conference USA has to grow and develop, and I think that's possible. But the idea that whether it's conference affiliation, whether it's fan support, but you have the academics here, there's so many positives here, and there's so much room for growth as well, that I think there's UAB is the kind of place that can be a special place for somebody for a long, long time.
With all that you've accomplished here in the program that you've been able to build, do you worry about the program backsliding? Do you worry that in 2 years I know because UAB will always be special for you since it was your first job. Do you worry about the future of this program?
Greatly. I called Mrs. Bartow today and got emotional with her, and we had a good talk, and Murray Bartow as well. So I understand and appreciate the history. I understand and appreciate what we've done here. And I will always care about how UAB does, but especially right now, because I have such deep relationships with the players and coaches here, that I want to see it not only sustained, I want to see it grow and flourish. And that would be my dream scenario right now, is that they bring in somebody that's going to be able to take it, grow it, take the things we've done and build on it.
From a continuity standpoint, it would seem that, someone from your staff, it would be nice to see someone like that get the job.
I do have a high major, quote unquote staff, and it's an unbelievable staff that the best thing for me is to continue to have them around me and when I go to Stanford right now. But I think with a guy like Rob Eason, this guy that's been at the highest levels, he's helped me teach me the game of basketball. I've learned so much from him, and I think he's grown from being around me as well. But a guy like him would have the ability to, I think, keep everything intact and take what we've done and grow on it. But he's in the intelligence level, the basketball savvy, the recruiting contacts and things. But I certainly would love to see that. But I know the administration is going to do a great job of going through the due diligence and getting the best person they can find.
And finally, do you have any regrets at all from the last 4 years?
I don't have any regrets, and I think there were a lot of challenges throughout. And I'll probably spend a little bit of time in thinking about if there's something I did regret, but for the most part, I feel really good about what we did. And I wish we would have won more games, and every kid would have got straight A's every semester, and so there's always something you want to do better. But I don't have any regrets right now, and I think we did it the right way and went as hard as we could.
What did you tell your team, and how'd that meeting go?
It was hard. It was hard, and we are on spring break, so it was mostly a phone conversation type deal, and I don't like that part because I wish I could have I don't know why. Maybe it's strange, but I wish I could have looked in the eye. But I will continue to have conversations and make sure that they're in a good spot, and then make my move. But it's a tough deal. That's the one thing that I've always thought of, that when you move jobs like that I wouldn't want to have to go through, and I can honestly say that I wish I didn't have to go through that one.
Like you said, with the staff, and most of your team is coming back. Robert Brown was the only senior, so I mean there is something to be said for a familiar face or some familiarity to stay with this program.
Well, continuity is always good. You know, and we have a program right now that you lose one senior, and so you have a program that if everybody's coming back, you have continuity. But the continuity of coaches could be good, and I do think that would always be a benefit. You know, and again, there may be a coach out there that's going to be the perfect hire, that's going to keep everybody intact and get this thing rolling. But the idea of continuity, I think, is a strong concept.